We've all been sold a lie when it comes to weight loss. We see the 6-week transformations, 8-week shreds, 12-week challenges, and the before and after photos that come from them. But we are sold into the transformation without being told what it entails to get there, which is usually extreme restriction, tons of exercise, and unsustainable methods. Nor are we told what happens after the after photo is taken, which is a rebound, back to square one, and in a lot of cases, the person gaining more weight than they initially lost alongside slower metabolism and completely destroyed relationship with food. You see, most dieting methods don't work long term, especially if you're a woman. If you ever tried dieting and pushing through endless amount of cardio only to feel exhausted and stuck, this video is going to be for you. I'm going to speak from experience here as somebody who has lost 20 pounds, regained 40 pounds, and then lost 20 pounds again. And through this weight loss, weight gain, weight loss journey, I've learned so much. What works, what doesn't work, and what you actually need to sustain weight loss long term without ruining the relationship with yourself, food, and destroying your hormones. The first time when I lost the 20 pounds, I did it through following the bullshit advice. You see it everywhere online. I ate 1200 calories. I did fasted cardio every morning. I tracked everything that I've ate in my fitness pal. I went low fat, low carb, did intermittent fasting. I was working out 6 times per week, sometimes twice per day. And I suppressed my hunger by drinking black coffee. And it worked. I lost the weight and I was even getting a lot of praise of how disciplined, motivated, and how great I looked. But in the process, I had completely destroyed my relationship with food. I was thinking about it all the time, but not allowing myself to eat. I had body dysmorphia. Every time that I looked in the mirror, I thought I needed to lose weight, even though I was already underweight. And I messed up my hormones completely. I lost my period and battled with regaining it for 5 years. So that dream body that I had achieved was absolute nightmare to maintain. I was constantly hungry, cold, tired, bloated, and irritated. So I had to gain all that weight back and even more in order to bring my body back to regulation again, to heal my relationship with food, to heal my relationship with my body, to balance my hormones. I had to gain more weight that I was comfortable with because of how much I destroyed my health through this extreme dieting approach. So the second time I lost the weight, I did it completely differently. And what I'm about to share with you might be controversial and not something that you hear a lot of weight loss coaches talk about. But it worked for me and it worked for hundreds of clients that I've worked with. And the most important thing is that it not only have I lost the weight, but I've also found peace. Peace with food and peace with my body. I regulated my hormones. I reduced the bloating. I cleared my skin. I doubled my energy and I regained and regulated my period. And the best thing, this whole process didn't even feel like your typical dieting. So here's where the problem lies with most dieting approaches. They assume that women are smaller men. What works for men will also work for women. And because most of the research that we have available is done on men, it means that majority of the diet, fitness, recovery protocols that we are recommended are based on male physiology. But the issue with following approaches that were made for men is that it ignores the impact that our hormonal fluctuations we experience throughout the month have on our metabolism, hunger levels, energy, motivation, and recovery. Men's hormones reset every 24 hours, which means they are built to show up the same way every single day. Consistency and rigidity really works for them. We operate on a 28-day cycle. We are not the same. And when we try to follow approaches that are built for men, it leads to disaster. So let me break down the 6 pillars that has made the biggest difference for me and the hundreds of women I've helped with when it comes to sustainable weight loss. Pillar number 1 is add, not subtract. Most diets start with what can I cut out? What can I restrict? What foods are off limits? But that approach sets you up for failure. Restriction breeds obsession. The more you tell yourself you can't have something, the more you will want it and eventually you will binge on it. So I want you to flip the script and ask yourself, what can I add? Focus on adding more protein to keep you full and satisfied, more fiber from vegetables and whole grains to support your digestion and blood sugar balance, more water throughout the day to help your metabolism and reduce hunger, and more sleep to regulate your hunger and appetite. When you focus on adding more of the good stuff, the less nutrition stuff take up less space. Pillar number 2, don't drop your calories too low. The mistake that I did was that I dropped my calories too low too quick. So I went from eating something like 2000 plus calories down to 1200. Why? I use MyFitnessPal to tell me how much I should be eating, which uses a very generic formula to calculate that. The problem with dropping your calories too low is that you don't give your body enough fuel in order to sustain the day-to-day bodily functions, like breathing, pumping your blood around your body, repairing cells, and digestion. Women on average need 1400 to 1800 calories just to sustain them. Think of it this way. Say that you own a coffee shop and that coffee shop requires 2000 euro each month in order to operate. But say you only pump 1200 euro into that coffee shop. What do you think would start happening? The lights would go out, heating would stop working, and all the systems would stop operating. And the exact same thing happens to your body when you don't give it enough fuel. Your thyroid function gets disrupted, your sex hormones slow down, and then your menstrual cycle just goes haywire. Plus, if you're eating so little calories, you're likely to experience fatigue, poor recovery from training, low concentration, irritability, and a massive preoccupation with food, which is likely to lead to a restriction binge guilt cycles. If weight loss is your goal, you need to be eating in a calorie deficit. There's no arguing against that. You need to be eating less than you are burning. But start off with a moderate calorie deficit of 300. Monitor whether things are changing. If you plateau, then drop your calories by 50 to 100 every 2 weeks. Pillar number 3. Do not cut out fats or carbs. The fitness industry and diet culture loves to demonize foods and food groups. Carbs make you fat, fats make you fat. But the thing is, you need all 3 macronutrients: protein, healthy fats, and yes, carbohydrates. Fat is not the enemy. Hormones are literally made from fat, cholesterol, and fatty acids. There are essential fats that our body cannot produce itself, and we literally need to get it from food. Think of it like building a house without cement. You can have all the bricks that you need, but without the cement to hold them together, the house would fall apart. So keep your fat intake at a minimum of 20% of your overall calorie intake. Ensure that you include things like oily fish, nuts, seeds, avocado, olive oil. A good rule of thumb is to include 1 tablespoon or a thumb-sized portion of healthy fats in your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And apart from how crucial fats are for hormone production, they also add to satiety. They keep you fuller for longer, which means that you can stay more adherent and consistent with your calorie deficit. And when we're talking about carbs, they are your body's preferred source of energy. Your brain alone uses 20% of your overall energy, and it runs primarily from glucose, which comes from carbohydrates. Carbs also help to regulate thyroid function and support serotonin, which is your feel-good neurotransmitters. Without having enough carbs, your mood and energy is likely to tank. Now, not all carbs are made equally. You have simple carbs, such as your pastries, buns, sweets, chocolate, fast food, and more complex carbs, which comes from things like oats, sourdough, quinoa, sweet potato. Aim to include complex carbs in each of your meals in your diet. The biggest thing that I've learned is that in order to lose weight sustainably, I do not need to cut out any food nor any food groups. There's a place and actually a necessity for not just protein, but also the fats and the carbohydrates. Pillar number 4 is to do strength training alongside your cardio. When you do a ton of cardio and eat very little, which is what most women do, you break down muscle tissue to be used for energy. You're losing muscle, slowing down your metabolism, and making it harder to keep weight off long term. Doing some form of resistance or strength training, on the other hand, builds lean muscle. A muscle is more metabolically active than body fat. This means you're burning calories even when you're sleeping, sitting, or watching TV. Plus, doing a shit ton of cardio increases your appetite and hunger, which can make keeping to a diet a lot difficult. It also spikes your stress levels. It spikes up cortisol, which can impact eating behaviors and where we store body fat. Focus on hitting the gym 3 to 4 times per week and keeping on top of your steps. Steps are such an underestimated form of exercise, but they are low impact and low intensity, which means that you can recover from them every single day, and they really add to the overall expenditure. Do this for a number of weeks before adding cardio, unless you really enjoy it. Pillar number 5, cycle your eating and training. We women are not designed to eat and train the same way every single day. We operate on a 28-day hormonal cycle, which affects our hunger, appetite, recovery, sleep, and strength. From a training perspective, most women report to be feeling their strongest, most energetic and motivated as their period ends. So in the first half phase of their cycle. If that is you, utilize that energy. Go and do some challenging workouts, high intensity work, aim for some personal best, and really push yourself. However, as you're shifting into the late luteal phase, so those couple of days leading up to your period, you may notice that your strength dips, your energy dips, you may feel more tired, less motivated. And now isn't a time to push and power through despite what all the fitness gurus are telling you online, but it is a time to tune into your body and slow down. Focus on intention over intensity. And when you do that, you actually see better benefits in terms of muscle gain, strength gain, enjoyment from your workouts, rather than trying to show up and perform the same way every single day. This isn't about completely stopping exercise because you may not be feeling like it before your period, because exercise actually helps with mood, with cramps, with pain, with fatigue, but it's about learning when to push and when to pull back. From a dieting perspective, in the luteal phase, your metabolism increases by 7 to 11%. This means that women burn 150 to 300 calories extra at rest. When we try to stick to the same amount of calories every single day, that only backfires. It means that we are under eating and under fueling for those 7 to 10 days every single month, which can lead to exhaustion and feeling like you have no discipline or willpower. What's going to make sticking to a diet a lot easier for you is when you actually cycle through your calories. I know it may sound like eating more when you are trying to lose weight is a counterintuitive approach, but it's actually going to work in your favor because you're burning those extra calories anyway. So don't be afraid to eat slightly more, around 200 calories extra in those 5 to 7 days leading up to your period. And pillar number 6 is to address the mindset piece. You can have the most perfect diet and the workout routine, but if your mindset is stuck in diet culture, you're going to struggle. Stop labeling food as good or bad. Food is just food. It doesn't have any moral values. Some foods are more nutritious, some foods are more fun. You need both. Stop labeling yourself as good or bad based on what you eat. Oh, I was so good today, I only had a salad. Or I was so bad today, I had a pizza and Ben & Jerry's. This language creates shame and guilt, which only perpetuates that restriction binge cycle. And refine what success looks like. Success isn't just numbers on the scale. It's having consistent energy, sleeping well, not obsessing about food, having a regular period, feeling strong, and being able to enjoy social events without anxiety. Lastly, give yourself permission to be imperfect. You're going to have days when you're going to eat more, intentionally or not. You're going to have weeks where you can't work out as much. You're going to have times when life simply gets in the way. And this isn't a failure. This is simply of navigating your health and fitness goals while also navigating life. So be compassionate and kind, because you cannot change from a place of hate. Okay, friends, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope that you enjoyed that video. If you're new here, hi, my name's Martina. I share content around hormones, women's health, diet, and lifestyle protocols to help you understand and connect with your body better. If that resonates, hit the subscribe button as I share videos weekly.